Hello and welcome to Week in Weird. My name is GiBi, and this week we have a special guest right here. This is my little Yorkie. So you might hear her whining, and she might be poking her head up from time to time, because I can't leave her alone without her yapping through the door. She's actually my dad's dog. I'm just dog-sitting for the week. In case you're not familiar with this show, what we normally do is we go through the week and we find the strangest headlines with some oddball stories. Now what we're going to start with is an old classic. If you've been on the internet for a long time, you have almost certainly seen this posted around as a meme. This is the Wikipedia page for a high five. The high five is a hand gesture that occurs when two people simultaneously raise one hand each, about head high, and push, slide, or slap the flat of their palm against the flat palm of another person. I'm so glad that the internet has given us the ability to look up these very important pieces of information. The gesture is often preceded verbally by a phrase like, give me five, high five, up high, or slap hands. Its meaning varies with the context of use, but can include as a greeting, congratulations, or celebration. So there's also a whole subheading about variations to the high five. The first major category is too slow. The too slow variation is a sequence of high five and low five, often accompanied by a rhyme such as up high, down low. Then, during the down low sequence, the initiator will surprise the counterparty by pulling their hand back at the last moment, thus tricking the other person into swiping at empty air, completing the rhyme with too slow. Below there is then some pictures demonstrating a too slow high five. You got the up high, you got the down low, victim misses, too slow with finger guns. So the actual story this week is that the couple who are in this picture for Wikipedia have come out to talk about why they made it. So Input Mag reports, one reason I love the Wikipedia article for High Five is that it's one of those entries about an utterly basic aspect of everyday life that reads like it was written by a group of aliens observing human beings. That's basically exactly what I just said. The High Five Wikipedia page is among my very favorites, not because of its writing, but because of its iconic photos, specifically the ones in the section on the too slow variation. And then we get these pictures again, and they're a lot bigger, and you can see the pain and the desperation in the lady's face. I love the aughts fashion, the use of the word victim, and the fact that finger guns gets a hyperlink in the last caption. The woman in the photo gives an Oscar-worthy performance in the final image. She looks like she's on the verge of tears, and her male counterpart couldn't look more smug. I don't know who this author is, but me and them, we're a kindred spirit. So now they're going to do some investigative reporting. The sequence was uploaded on August 14th, 2008 by bgubits, a user who describes himself as an accountant who likes sunsets and long walks on the beach. Today, photos from the Too Slow series are featured on Wikipedia pages in 8 languages and get more than 200,000 annual views. They also talk about the controversy behind the picture. Wikipedia user KugiHot suggests the photos be removed because they were simply a waste of precious Wikipedia public bytes. Me and KugiHot, we're not kindred spirits. Okay, so here's where the article really gets going. I became increasingly convinced that there was nothing platonic about this high five. I mean, you can feel the chemistry through the screen. Just look at her smile in the first frame. Look at their gazes in the third frame. There's no way two people so young and so beautiful could exchange such a flirty high five without feeling flutters of the heart. I couldn't help but wonder what their story was and what had happened to them. So this investigator goes on to stalk them on Reddit and finds that they are, in fact, a couple. A couple years ago, they got married, and the guy posted his pictures online. So even though he had found these pictures online, he wasn't able to track down the people's actual names or identities. So going forward with his doxing skills, he started researching the name of the user who had uploaded these pictures to Wikipedia, and he found that the Facebook account associated with the username looked nothing like the guy in the photo. So then he started going through the friends list of the guy in the photo until he found people that looked like the high-fiving couple. That's how he found Tim and Tamara. And as the author points out, victim misses has become victim misses. Ha! Ah-ha-ha-ha-ha. Obviously, this article wouldn't have been written if these guys weren't cool with it, so the author meets them on a Zoom call and starts asking them about their life story. Apparently the night that the photo was taken, it was Tim's birthday. The couple had been together for about 3 years, and their buddy Ben, the guy who uploaded it on Wikipedia, just said, hey, there's no pictures for up high, down low. We should take some and upload it. This is when their story takes a tragic turn for the worse. So when they met, Tim was actually 30 and Tamara was still in college. And then, as I just said, this picture was taken about 3 years later. So he's now 33 and she's about to graduate college. He's going to enter into a theological program that makes him relocate to Scotland, and she's graduating college and moving on to her career. So the two of them decide that they don't want to make a long-distance relationship work, and they actually break up. So they've just ended their relationship around the time that their pictures are starting to go viral on the internet. Good job. Thankfully, this break doesn't last long. Tim says, I got 8 months into the divinity program and realized I didn't want to do it anymore. I felt aimless. I had to get out of the ivory tower and figure out the basics of my life. Apparently, Tim saw a social media post about Tamara going on a date with another guy, and he immediately flew home and asked her to marry him. They did indeed get married, and now they have 2 daughters. The author of the article actually asked them to recreate the image, and they did. Up high, down low, victim misses, finger guns. They also recreated the same images with their daughters this time. Up high, down low, victim misses, finger guns. This is just the most adorable thing I've ever seen. Except for my puppy. Except for the dog. You absolutely cannot see her, she's off camera now. Alright, moving on, we're now going to read an article from Mirror. Woman furious after €74 tattoo disaster. People say she should demand a refund. They translate that to $100. Taylor spent $100 to get her finger tattoo. For many of us that have tattoos or have thought about getting ink, we know the importance of making sure the artist you visit knows exactly what they're doing so you can avoid getting a tattoo you hate. But one woman on TikTok has been left furious after her trip to a tattoo parlor ended in her receiving a tattoo that she didn't even have time to regret, because it almost completely faded within 1 week. Oh, is that the issue? I can't really tell with the picture. Apparently this will commonly happen if the tattoo artist doesn't go very deep into the skin, and apparently getting finger tattoos is very painful, so they don't go deep. But a lot of people said that even though finger tattoos don't last as long as regular tattoos, they should definitely last longer than a week. Oh, oh, that's so much worse than I thought. Oh my god, it's a joke. That's legitimately funny. Like, I guess the lesson is the tattoos aren't forever, and if you don't like them, then just hope that they go away. Right, kids? Now for the most important story of the day. From the Wall Street Journal. Dillon the Pickle has been found. I really hope you watched my video from last week for context. So the story starts with Dillon being lost on an airplane. They lost the luggage that contained the mascot suit. They then found it and returned him to the baseball team's offices at 2 in the morning, where he was promptly stolen off of the porch. He's now been lost for about 2 weeks. On November 17th, a man brought the bag to a local donut shop. He says that he saw kids playing with the costume on a bus. The team's general manager said that the costume was in good shape, but it does smell like cigarette smoke and needs a thorough cleaning. The Portland Pickles put out an official press release that states, Portland, Oregon, February 17th, 2022. The following statement was released today by Dillon T. Pickle, accompanied by Portland Pickles General Manager Ross Campbell and Assistant General Manager Parker Huffman, in response to an unknown dropping off of a large black duffel bag at Voodoo Donuts. Quote, I'm back. I have no words to explain why I've been so captivated by this pickle story, but it has changed me as a person. Alright, we're now going to move on to our final story. This has been a shorter video than normal, but I saw this headline and I could not wait to read it. Female Tekken Player says men under 170 centimeters don't have human rights. Where's the line? Obviously, that's a joke. This person's a terrible person. And not just because of that comment. They're going to go over other things that she said in a minute. For my fellow Americans who don't use commie measurements, this is 5'6". So the woman's name was Tanu Kana, and she was part of a professional gaming league. She played Tekken, but apparently this comment that was made on a live stream got her fired. She was reported in saying that men who are under 6'5" don't have human rights. She goes on to mention that men under that height should look into surgeries to make them taller. Oh wait, no, this was a tweet, not a live stream. The Tekken player then apologized in a now deleted tweet, claiming she didn't mean to express something seen as hate speech, and she was simply trying to express her love of tall people. Now, you may have noted that this article was originally written by Kotaku, and if you know anything about gaming media in Kotaku, you know that they're trash, and there's a lot more nuance to this. The word that she specifically used in her tweet does translate to human rights or civil liberties, but it's also a term within the gaming sphere. Kotaku translates it as the word for in-game items that all players require. Don't know exactly what that means. But basically, that would change her message from short people don't deserve human rights to short people don't deserve to be carried through video games. Apparently, she's also said some other nasty things that are getting her canceled, including bald people are bald because they were evil in their past life. On a totally unrelated note, you like how I'm wearing my hat backwards this time? It's a fashion statement. I figure if I'm going to be holding a Yorkie in my lap during the video, I need to go all the way and be totally uncool and wear a backwards Captain America baseball cap. She also says, LGBT are a gathering of mentally ill people. And then, aunties with low income should unalive. Don't know what aunties are. Thank you for watching. You can follow me on Twitter at GiBi_Devin for more updates. Please subscribe if you want to see the next Week in Weird. I also just recently finished a script for a video that you probably are going to want to see if you're interested in a certain individual who has spent the last couple months in jail. Until then, please enjoy this picture of my puppy.